Okay. What is this in my face here?
It says waiting for host. Also, I'm not sure if the thing about Aiden was meant for me or not. I think it might be.
Okay.
Else.
Hello.
Why did you think the thing for Aiden was meant for someone else?
I don't know. Well, I didn't understand.
Oh, okay. I don't think it was.
Oh, well, what does it mean? I mean, well,
I don't remember what
you read it. It's just like, what? Continue. Okay.
Oh, I
Let's
think I
do
was
this.
just saying I'm gonna schedule the guy, yeah, the guy that you recommended, and see how it works.
Oh, okay, good. All right, so for some reason it let me do the YouTube live thing.
Because I haven't host yet. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
How do I do that? Participants.
Up next to my window, I think.
Make host. Change host.
Oh, goody. All right, now. All right, live on YouTube. Let's do this. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Super.
All right. Okay, come on. All right, let's see. Oh, here, I got it. No.
Your hair looks good.
Thank you. All right, this one. Go live.
Nice and curly.
I know, it's got a mind of its own.
I like
And
that.
Houston's about the worst place you could live with hair like mine. It's just like,
So
Donald King look.
I love it. Look, we both have a white.
It's so true. Yours always looks beautiful. Okay, setting up your webinar for YouTube Live. Here we go. Come on, don't be shy. Oh, goody. Here we go. Waiting for the chats to begin.
Super. Look what I did to my phone.
Is that just the case or the phone?
It's the case.
Oh, God, thank God.
Nobody.
All right, we are here, large and in charge. I see the chat thread just, what do you call it, propagating or whatever you call it. I'm going to widen, make it bigger. There's my old lady eyes, and there we go. Hello, Pamela, and hello, one and all, Pamela and CE peeps. So, hope you guys had a great Easter / Passover. And
hey mom.
yeah, and I was going to say, I love you. You never miss a beat. All right, so before we get started, anything, Eric, that you would want to say to people out there?
Chill the fuck out. He went like this. Chill the fuck out.
Oh, yeah. To everybody. Yeah.
It's okay. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. You'll see.
Oh, that reminds me of my little granddaughter. It's okay, Mimi. Don't worry. It's okay, Mimi, when she was watching.
Oh, she's so cute.
All right, so y'all, I'm going to put a poll up for who would want to come to an event at my place with Pamela Erilyn as the main person of honor. I think it'd be fun. So so don't forget to, and I'll probably try to put that on my social media as well. So without any further ado, I'm going to ask the first question. Somebody, well, I think you even alluded to this, Annika, says that China has a ton of gold. I mean, like, I don't know, 24 tons or 2 tons, I can't remember, a lot. And it is planning to open the trap door on the US dollar and pretty much make fiat money, paper money, the US dollar, absolutely worthless. First of all, is this true? How can we hedge this? Do we, invest in Bitcoin? But they're going to apparently create a cryptocurrency that is backed in gold. And of course, the dollar is not backed in anything except, trust me, I'm legal tender. So we're here.
Erik said, first of all, let's dig deep into value systems in humanity. Let's look at value systems, because you're placing your power and your value into a piece of metal or a piece of paper. How insane is that shit? He said, so let's just look at that and trust that our value lies somewhere else, not in the hands of someone that can dig up metal or print paper. So yes, invest in other things. Absolutely, that's one way. But let's look at the other concern is the bandwagoning that's going on with these theories causes a lot of fear, and mostly it's true. And okay, it's true, but that doesn't mean we need to be in fear about it. There are things that we can do to come together to really be powerful in our value systems. And, not us against China or China against us, but just us growing in our power and, understanding ourselves as a nation and as families and as individuals. If we just handle and prepare, just prepare yourselves. You're going to feel so powerful in this preparation, whether it be in your food stocks and your closets or your banks or your whatever. But with banks, they're going to collapse one day. Everybody knows this. Isn't this common knowledge by now? We've been talking about this to you for a long time. So now it's time to prepare and not be afraid and be empowered about what's coming. If the dollar collapses, know that there will be something else that you can create together as an exchange system where the value system is just love and much more peaceful and very different.
Yeah. Well, do you think, what's the chances of China doing this?
He says it's constantly being thwarted by the governments, our governments. Okay. So we're trying to shift out of it, but everybody knows that we're going in this way that could look like a Cold War. And if we think about it just logically, historians would say we're already there. So what we need to do is the same thing we did in other Cold Wars. We band together as families, as local communities, and we made major changes within ourselves and within our homes and within our local communities. And we grew. We did it then. Do it again. Yes, Cold War. Are you surprised that I'm saying it?
Yeah. So we can't invest in gold, because if they're going to flood the market with all the gold that they've been hoarding, it's going to just be worthless. So, what can we do to put food on the table besides growing it in our gardens? And what can we do? We short gold? Do we? I don't know. What would be an intelligent investment to prepare for this possible eventuality?
Let's look at this in a different way as well. Just because they have a lot of it doesn't mean we also can't have a lot of it and can't get more in our own lands. We have so much more oil in our own lands that people don't talk about, that at some point we're going to have to be dependent upon that. And we're going to have to be dependent upon more than crude oil sources. We're going deeper than that. We're becoming dependent upon the resources in our own lands and to create another commodity. And what?
Okay, yeah, you can hear me, right? I was wondering if I accidentally muted it. Never mind.
No, you didn't. He said, we're creating another commodity, and yeah, it'll be a metal, and then it'll be a different form of paper, and then it'll be something and something and something and something and something.
Okay, well, what about oil?
That'll be there for a long time as well. Our own oil. We won't be fighting anyone to get it. It'll be out.
Right. Okay, that's good. All right, so I saw John McCain there. I was wondering if that is Bella's John McCain. He came over to one of the events, and she acted so interestingly with John. She just went right up and into his lap. She doesn't do that, and kisses him on the face. And John is kind of a shy guy, at least he was there.
Erik said, "Oh, she doesn't do that, huh?"
She does not. And then I said, "We'll give John kisses," and she just bounced off, across the couch and gave him kisses. It was funny. So, John, if that's you, hello. All right, so now, without further ado, let's go to these patient peeps. Florence B. Hi, Eric. Could you give me some guidance for my business? Any messages for my team? And should we terminate our business premises? In this day and time, it's tough.
Yeah. He said, okay, so why are you going to be so quick to just quit and roll up your carpets? What is that? That's not what we're about in our country. Like, what is that? Please don't do that. Then everybody else does it too. We don't need to do that.
Don't need to do what? Because you froze a little bit.
Oh, it's saying your internet's being weird. Maybe people can give us some feedback on YouTube if they can hear you or hear me, or if we're both cutting out. But you're freezing a lot on my end, so I don't know if it's my end or yours. But he says we don't need to be so quick to roll up our carpets. We really don't. We need to fight for what and fight within ourselves, not other people, but fight hard within our hearts about what we're going towards. And if we fight your ego, if you're going to fight something, he said, fight your mind. Your mind's saying shut the doors. Your mind's saying you can't do it. Don't let your mind say that. Fight that.
Okay. I'm going to text Lucas and see what's going on.
I'm going to do a
test. All right. Joe W. Hi, my name's Joseph. Any messages from my dad, William? That's from Joe W. He passed 5 years ago.
Thank you. I smelled something. Cigarettes or cigars. I think it's cigarettes. I smelled something. That's how I knew someone was here. And he says, so, you know, what our family's always represented, and is about the strength of the man in our family. But something has recently changed where now there's one woman who's showing the strength of a zillion of us. And I'm proud of her. And that's it. I'm just proud of her. I'm so proud of her. She's doing what all of us couldn't have done ever.
That's awesome. All right. Jared Lovato, messages from my higher self, please.
Your higher self showed me a circle of you running and like chasing your tail. You're just going da, 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 in your mind. Your mind will thwart you at every corner. So higher self says, remember that only sitting still can heal this and stop this. And you have to sit still. No technique can make this happen. Don't chase that. That's also another form of chasing your tail here. So there's this temporary field of awareness that the mind chooses love or fear. And it's a balance between this love or fear. And you're trying to find it. We're not trying to eliminate fear. We're trying to find it. Okay. My speed test proved good over here. It's about 97.
No, Lucas is working upstairs,
cool.
And he's on a GoToMeeting conference call.
Thanks, Lucas.
Okay. Well, let's just go on. We'll do the best we can.
Okay.
The guy's got to work.
Yep, he does.
Budget,
Yeah.
All right. How about Moira, Diviner, Divinier? I don't know. Hi, all. Sweta Prasad here. Oh, okay, that's her name. My question is, do I have any clair, and should I continue tarot readings? And what is my life purpose? So we have one. We can do one question per person.
Purpose, according to your higher self, is restoration. Restoration is the purpose of a healer. Divination is a tool, not a purpose. Divination is a tool that goes along with an ability, that goes along with, your contracts and your missions. But it's not. Clairs are just abilities that happen to help us with our purpose, Erik says. So he happens to think, and I agree with him, that your purpose is restoration. So specifically, how does that work in other times, in other lifetimes? The Akashic records that I'm seeing involve, I just see these images of you yanking up roots from the ground and blessing waters. These are ancient druidic times. I love druids as some of my past lifetimes as well. So I get that. That is a healer. You can make things that help restore health, and you can move energy as well. Tarot is just a tool that builds your confidence, Erik says. He says you need to work on your confidence, and tarot is helpful for that. But it just will pull you into these cycles, these tools. Sometimes these tools pull us into cycles of powerlessness where we put too much power on the tools. He said she's not doing this, but sometimes the people who come to her might. And that's just common in tarot. You know, it's common with any clair, where people are like, you have a clair. That means you could tell me the future. That means you could tell me what to do with my job. That means fill in the blank. He said, so this is kind of the powerless point of readings. You need to get beyond that and go, you use that as a tool, but when do you stop and learn to trust your own self and build your own abilities and trust your instincts that are beyond what the clairs can offer? Because there is an instinct beyond what the clair can offer, and it's a part of your God mind. It's a part of this power of instinct and intuition.
Cool. Okay. Cody MB. I had a dream where I was in a blank landscape. Everything was white. Letters then started to float past me. That's cool. The letters ENOCHIAN fell before me. Enochian. What can Erik tell me about this? That's so cool.
Yeah, so when the Enochian order of angelics begin to speak with people, they come through a guide. Sometimes it's Metatron. That's just one of the prime creator angels that comes about. I'm also huge into galactic history. And when I look at the Akash, I see all these bloodlines of galactic histories. And that's one of them. So you can ask to connect to Metatron for further information about the
Just have a
Enochian.
Metacube. Doot, doot.
Yeah, yeah.
He helps you with my novel writing.
Helps me too, and for many things.
Yeah.
And I love that particular order of angelics. They're very powerful, loving beings, very peaceful oriented beings. So tap in and you'll learn more. I also read something. You guys can take a peek at this. It is the what is it? Book of Knowledge of Enoch, and I found a lot of knowledge about what's going on in the world today in that book.
Very cool. All right. Hi, I'm Carl. Can you tell me what is wrong with my right knee and why I'm in so much pain in the last 2 weeks? Oh, goodness.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Erik says that's a pretty common one. That's your knees just going out. The cartilage in between the bones. Something happens with the cartilage in between the bones where it starts to deteriorate and the bones start to rub together. It's incredibly painful.
So what do we need to do? Arthroscopic surgery?
If it gets to that point, if it gets to that point, but what you can do in this instance is really pay attention to your intake of caffeine, Erik says. So for people who have this specific problem with bone-on-bone pain, whether it's arthritis or whatever it is, caffeine is very astringent, and it can be so helpful in some areas of your health. But in this one area, for people with like the pain from arthritis and from the pain in the back and knee, where there's bone-on-bone and cervical disc displacement and things of that nature, it sucks all the fluid out from there and makes it even harder for you to build up a proper.
It's diuretic. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, so it does something that makes it more painful. So he said if you quit caffeine altogether, you're going to experience a whole new level of a pain-free life.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And perhaps.
All right. Hi, Erik. It's Ava. Can I hear from my reptilian boyfriend?
I'm getting this image. Erik stepped aside, but not far. Like when he does this, he'll step aside when he trusts something to talk to me, but he also will like keep a close eye.
Oh,
this is the case where he's like, I'll step aside a little bit, but not much.
Yeah.
So, and then I could.
My sweet boy, knight in shining armor.
All this energy in the neck. I feel all this energy in the neck. And this, I feel a lot of Zeta Reticulan and gray, not just what you're saying about reptilian races, but gray energies coming through to help that being. So a Zeta Reticulan effort also wants to help you in energy around your neck or here. So there's a message from the Zeta Reticulans around him that he had to learn a lot about when he was embodied, which he was. So what he learned was there's a lot of energy that can come from this area right here, guys, this little area of the back of your neck, that you need to be really channels, healers, you need to be particularly aware of that area, not fearful of that area, but aware that energy can be kind of pulled from that in your life. You know, so just be aware that that's where we want our shielding and our energies to kind of like, I even put a little tattoo there of my favorite sacred shape to kind of remind me to.
Oh, cool. Well, what is that? Is it a different chakra point or something?
It's something like that. I wouldn't call it a chakra point, but I'd say
the
that
little
it's
stick up thing, the little bony prominence there, or is it just
that area
okay.
is the point of energy that we need to be just kind of aware of. Erik says that's where too much energy can leave the body that we actually need. So your boyfriend came up around you and put his hand on that area and started moving it around. And I could feel the Zeta Reticuli around him kind of like making their little noises. They make cute little noises, like little clicking noises. And they're huge. You get scared of them if you don't know what they are, but they're very benevolent. But just very scientific, and I could feel energy going around you at that time. So let me know if that worked.
Okay, that's so cool. All right, Jackie Taylor, is there any messages from my grandpa, Bill Taylor?
Purify, purify, purify. He keeps saying that over and over and over again. He stepped in really fast. He said, but you have to allow it to, purification happens when you visit every dark corner of your own mind. So he wants you to be exploring your mind. And he showed me your mind like a kind of a room that's all dark and there's corners of it. And there's light in each corner, you know, all four corners of the room. He said, so this is a metaphor also for four corners of your land, four corners being a specific place where your ancestors come from. I've done a lot of research on those particular beings. They're Hopi. They're in Arizona. So he said it's about you activating lands is something you've been wanting to do in this lifetime and in every generation in which you are embodied. Is not necessary for you to seek for love when you're asking, how do I love myself? That's another message. Is necessary for you to understand that love already embraces you. Seek for what is false. Seek just what is false in those four corners of your mind. When you find that and eliminate that, you will be aware of the love that's already there embracing you. Because she's been asking how to love herself more. So he's
one thing that I think would be kind of cool, it's a great way to explore one's mind, is that soul happy technique that those two lovely women came. It's really amazing. There's so much. It's 20 minutes a day, and you know, for a while, and you have pretty much erased so many negative thoughts and replace them with positive thoughts. And you know, here's the little tip of the iceberg: the conscious mind. It deals with the 99% subconscious mind. Even uses EMDR and other things. So soulhappy.com, you should check it out. It's cheap too, especially if you say you're from Channeling Erik. So look into that. And all right, let's go on. Sarah Watson, good morning. My name is Sarah Watson. Are there any messages for me? And can you tell me who my guides are?
Saint Germain, Mary Magdalene, an unknown, unnamed rather, not unknown, unknown's druidic being. So higher self says, when you're looking ahead, which you've been doing a lot of, when you're just focusing here and looking ahead, you'll feel that there's a distance between where you are and where the reality that you want to be is. And then you miss the opportunities required for your spiritual expansion right here, right where you are, right in front of your face. So to practice where you're going, be it now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Stephanie Clark, what's going on with my mind? I'll often ask that question myself. I have difficulty processing information with depth perception, hypersensory, problem with hoarding, paperwork, OCD, ADHD, and memory problems. What can I do to fix it?
Okay, let me try to write those down. So depth perception, hoarding, memory problems. What else did she say?
Processing information, OCD, and ADHD.
Okay, processing info. I'm just writing them down. The way that Eric's having me write them down comes about in a certain order. Depth perception first. Hoarding and OCD are the same thing. One causes the other and they work together. Memory problems, okay, that's just the overall, he said. That encapsulates everything. And processing info, it goes along with ADHD. One causes the other. So he said, this is the brain attempting to work in an environment that it is not familiar with. And of course you freak out. It's weird here on Earth, people. It's weird. We don't quite know what it is. So our brains, genetically speaking, are coming in from various levels of existence that are unlike this one. It's not like this here.
Is she a starseed? Is she more accustomed to some other planet and another star system? Could that be it?
And very attuned to that. And when he said when she was little, people would call her oddball and weirdo and like make fun of certain traits that she had. The hoarding is about scarcity mentality that she needs to work on. That's not just a part of OCD and trying to regain control of her environment, but that is something learned from some female figure in childhood. So when she works through that, that'll help and the OCD will get better. Okay. But with a depth perception, that's coming along with processing info and ADHD, which are the bigger problems associated with a being who just doesn't quite know how to operate in an environment where they tell you to do things kind of A, B, C, D. He said, those aren't your building blocks in your brain, girl. He's like, you're not this, then that, then this, then that. You're A, Z, D, E.
Yeah, she's not a linear.
Well, she doesn't have to be. And she's trying to
No.
force herself into this modality that's kind of like this is what you should do. This is and she does. And her brain's like, that's insane. I can't do that.
Yeah, well, ADHD is really not a disorder. It's a cognitive style. You have hunter and gatherers. You have hunters and you have gatherers. Okay, gatherers, picking the little berries and all that stuff. They can focus, etc. But a hunter, they have to constantly scan the environment for prey, and they have to be impulsive. So that's distraction, right? And they have to jump, be very impulsive so they can jump their prey. So that's where that comes in. But so it's basically a disorder of society not being able to accommodate that cognitive style. So what do you want her to do, Erik?
He said, I want you to use that cognitive style for you, as opposed to assuming it as a disorder. I want you to learn to use it. But I want you to push your triggers with that hoarding and start trashing stuff and letting stuff go and giving stuff away. Push yourself with the hoarding.
Okay. And maybe the soul happy thing will help you too. You can go back to what trauma may have created this fear of scarcity, and scarcity is an illusion. But anyway, just look into that, soulhappy.com or .org. I think it's .com. I don't know. But anyway, it really helped me. And I've had a lot of trauma in my life. Okay, let's see. Ivo, hi, Ivo Nelson. He says, I'm in. Jamie S. Good morning. I want to know what is preventing me from fully loving myself. It sounds like a soul happy opportunity there too. Wow.
It is. Erik said it is.
I mean, it's so good, guys. I mean, instead of therapy for years and years and years, this is like 6 weeks. I think it costs like $190 or whatever, and you can keep reusing it the rest of your life.
He said there are also some
amazing
tricks that she uses that kind of like does something instant in the brain in 3 different areas of the brain that resets your brain. So he's talking about those 3 ways to reset your brain. Simple ways that are easy to remember that you can do over and over and over again if you don't talk yourself out of it. So that's the big part. If you don't talk yourself.
Yeah.
He said for her, what is her name again?
Her name is Jamie S.
Thank you. Okay. So he said for you, loving yourself means stop taking things so damn seriously. And he put a period in front of everything. He says, so a mind that's awakening with love learns to giggle at itself and laugh at itself and be in joy a lot more. And then when it laughs, when it does laugh, it could be just an echo of trying to perceive old patterns in a new way. You're not laughing at yourself, you're laughing with yourself. You're not bypassing something, you're trying to perceive these memory patterns differently. It's just an echo of something, just how when you stand in a cave and you echo and your voice comes back
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
When you're laughing, you're just kind of echoing something back to yourself. And then you're not bypassing, but you're able to fully see yourself in this way.
That's cool. All right, Manoj Singh. Any messages from me, from either my spirit guides or Erik?
What's her name?
Manoj Singh. I think that's a guy name.
Manoj.
Manoj, and then Singh.
Yeah, from India. Yep.
I hate it when I talk into the phone and I say Huynh, but it spells, the Vietnamese Nguyen. It's like, why? Or every time I say China, it's Chyna with a capital, like proper name.
So Eric's making a play off your last name Singh, even though that's a real proper last name that people use a lot, particularly in the Gurmukhi cultures of India.
God, you are a font of information, Pamela. Jesus.
He's
That's
making
so
a
cool.
play off your name. And he's like, sing, you need to sing. You need your voice to be out there. You know this already, sing. And
Oh,
you said, no, really, your voice is really healing. I'm not making fun of you. You're a joyful person. And when you sing, the world listens. But what are you telling yourself about your voice? I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that madness. I want you to remember that you are focusing a lot on your family and about their tomorrows. You keep saying what's going to happen tomorrow. You're creating their tomorrows and your tomorrows now. What you experience with them, you can shift because you're a leader, not a follower. You're not sheeple. You're a leader in your family. So they're looking, and that's making you a little scared. Don't let it make you scared. Let it make you active with your voice. So sing and speak, sing and speak, sing and speak.
so it's actual song plus having your own voice, like your power.
Yeah.
Maybe something with the throat chakra could help.
Absolutely working on the third energies.
Okay. So how can you do that?
Erik said, I don't need to tell him that the power mantra is powerful in his culture. He knows that, but I can tell him that singing brings joy. And when you're in joy, even if you're just listening, if you think your voice is terrible, if you're just listening and you are activating a joy in your brain, it does something. These sounds, it's the sound.
I know. I love singing. It brings joy to me, but not to anybody around me. It's weird about last names. There's something strange because, Singh, I'm wondering if we choose our last names on purpose. Mine, I don't know about mine, but like we had this friend that we used to walk to school, me and my sisters, to elementary school, and her father always went jogging every morning, and he was found dead on the track, and his last name is Goodhart. And then another one is this guy, Terry, my sister and her ex-husband, went scuba diving all the time with, and he didn't come back to the boat. He was found all tangled up in the kelp, dead, and he lives on Kelp Lane. So it's like strange. I don't know. I have a bunch of that.
That's interesting too, that what names do, Erik says, brings forth a certain karmic energy that you're remembering that you can choose to be in power with, or you can choose to shift, which is why people often go to married names, or after they're married, they go back to their other names. Sometimes they choose another different surname for themselves at some point because they're aware of what they're choosing in their karmic power. So yeah, it was very, very interesting, with that.
Yeah, mine's rebellious. So it's either all my friends said, did y'all invent the rubella vaccine? Or it's like, okay, so is it rubellus, a lot of people say. So it's either that I had a bad case of German measles or I'm rebellious, which I am
And
sometimes.
then you moved on to meadows, like medicine.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Meadows means with house, because I guess we
Right.
eventually, on my husband's side, they actually got a house.
My name means with
Instead of just
song. Not a
whatever,
lot of people know
cave.
that, but my name means with song, which makes a lot of sense for me.
Oh, wow. All right, let's see. Tia Grijal, Jalva. Oh, God, I'm sorry. Grijalva. Alva. Grijalva. Good morning, everyone. My name is, I'm not going to say that again. Please don't make me. I am wondering who my spirit guides are right now.
Right now, Erik said. She doesn't mean it. She's just playing. So Erik said, I'm one of them. He said, Jesus, my man over here is the other.
Oh,
And he said, rest assured, though, here's my message. You're not alone. When people ask who their spirit guides, the reason why they want to know is because they feel alone.
yeah.
And then he
You're
reassures
never
them
alone.
you're not alone. So your spirit guide said, rest assured, you're not alone. In any moment, you can call upon me and I am with you.
That's awesome. Erik, don't follow her in the bathroom or shower, though, okay? Just kidding.
He said,
Okay.
she's hot. And then he jokes around.
All right. Galactic Toe wants to know, what's the weirdest alien race? I mean, what would this person find as the weirdest? Probably us. We're pretty weird.
God,
We're alien.
that causes me to generalize everything. I mean, is he asking for him? What would be weird for him, or what would be
Yeah.
weird for me?
Yeah.
Well, what humans as a whole have a difficult time perceiving is the non-sentient race, any type of galactic races that are non-sentient. This is why people are so terrified of reptilians. So they find that really odd, that the different ways of learning, where people have different ways of learning. But I say that the insectoid race, like the mantis beings, can't quite grasp that. We're like, what are they learning with these little sounds that they make, these little ticking, clicking sounds that they make? And it's the same thing that bats do. It's echolocation sounds.
Yeah. Oh. Call an Orkin or Terminex, quick. I
need a lot more than that, Erik says. He shows
a lot of people. My fellow residents in medical school took care of a lot of people who were homeless, and a lot of them had, ulcerations on their legs that were infested with maggots, and actually, which are really good for wounds. And some wisecrack would always call an Orkin consult. Anyway, not funny, I guess. Comic
I think it's funny.
Oh, I was going to say, I've been watching a bunch of the Gaia series. They're so cool. One about ancient civilizations, and I found out all sorts of stuff about the history of the Garden of Eden, the Tower of Babel, and I can't wait to have and about the ancient Gnostics. Can't wait to have a session on that. That's going to be cool. I got so many cool questions. Bridget O'Connell, my first live from Toronto. I bet it's cold over there. Well, thank you for joining us, Bridget. Jackie Taylor, any messages for me?
From Jackie Taylor?
Actually, she already asked a question. Only one per person. Sorry, Jackie. Lynn Mano, good morning. With much gratitude, I ask Erik and my team, should I continue taking anastrozole?
Can you spell that one? I don't know what that one.
ANASTROZOLE.
That's allopathic, isn't it? She spelled it wrong here, except, but that's probably allopathic. And you guys, I get in trouble when I comment on that. But because I'm not
give her a
supposed.
message then, maybe.
Yeah, Erik has a message. He said, you already know this answer. You're just not trusting yourself about what to do. But when you put your power in the hands of another being, no matter who it is, it puts you in this powerless, being a victim position. And, he said, my man, Jesus over here, said that being the Christ is not about loss of power.
Okay, well, now I recognize Ibrance. I didn't know the generic, but it's a hormone-based chemotherapy for breast cancer.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, I got nothing to say about that personally because,
Yeah, we're not.
medical
Yeah,
communities get mad at me.
yeah, we can't do a
We
medical
can't.
advice. But anything she can at least add to that if she doesn't stop it, that will help her. What about LDN? That has huge anti-tumor properties, and I have had a couple of blog members tell me that they have been completely cured of their cancer, and their oncologist like, what? So
There's
low
a
dose naltrexone.
yes, and go to your belief system about what caused it to begin with. So
Ah,
there are a couple different types of breast cancers, three different kind of prominent ones, but she doesn't have the actual most prominent one, like the kind that most people have, he says.
yeah.
So hers is a lot more inflammatory. I'm pretty familiar with that kind.
Oh, then that the LDN would definitely work for that. I mean,
So when you think about inflammation in the body, you think about toxemia, and you look physiologically with what you put in your body that is a toxin. That's
yeah.
all he's going to say about that, because
Okay.
toxins, and you know what he's trying to say, in your heart, toxin inflammation found the problem that you have in your unique um, type.
Okay.
So yeah,
All right. Jill Slayball. Eric, my name is Dora. Oh, that was going to be Jill. And I would love to hear from my son, David. I'd be so grateful for any message. He passed away 2.5 years ago. I found the 2-year mark for some reason to be the most difficult. I don't know why.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So can you get David?
2 years and
And
6
for,
years. That's what
for
Eric said.
Dora?
The 2 year and the 6 year mark.
Yeah.
Um, David said, "Look around you. You're such kind of a humble person, and you've been humbled in some pretty hard ways. So I'm asking you to look at humility in a different way, not in a way where the world has rendered you powerless. I'm asking you to look at the power and humility as being a complete different definition. Humility means a sacred quietness, a pure mind, an intent of pure love. That is the truth of humility, according to David. David's a pretty
Hmm.
cool person.
Wow. Gosh, he's so wise.
Stop asking why. Here's how you heal from the asking why. Admit to yourself that you don't know. Knowing nothing will set you free. When you tell yourself you don't know what a single thing is for, you don't know why anything happened and what it's for, you can start to look at it in a different way, because karmic lessons are like Rubik's cubes. And he hands me a Rubik's cube and he starts flipping it around. And he said, the more we flip it around, the more frustrated we get, unless we're masters of the cube. Unless you've mastered that fear, what you need to do is just flip it around and look at that one side, and just look at that. And if you don't like that side, maybe we can look at another side. We don't know what it's for, but at least look at the side that's beneficial to you. Stop flipping it around in your mind over and over again. Please, that's not helpful.
Okay, good. All right. The bad guy, Tony Tone. Blessings to you, ladies and Eric. My name is Carmen, and I remember that. It's like Carmen is not a guy, and you're not a bad guy after all. Carmen, and my question is, if and when my boyfriend Tony, who died last year, is ever around me, and does he leave signs for me?
Eric said, yeah, I told you that before, and I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he's kind of like this big bad guy who's the softy teddy bear at heart that comes through. And he is often around. So he wants you to recognize that it's around in your laughter. He comes around in certain types of birds. Um, Birds are kind of a thing with spirits trying to contact. I remember when my mom lost the love of her life, a cardinal came, and still does every now and then. And when he would try to talk to me to tell my mom when he was coming, this cardinal would show up at the same time. It was undeniable, and it's the same thing with my friend Dolores, Carl Gold cardinals. Cardinals are kind of a big deal, and he's been trying to come around in this red bird. I'm not sure if it's a cardinal. Doesn't quite look exactly like that to me. Looks a little bit more like a robin to me, but it is a red bird.
Okay. And what happens when I scroll down? Sometimes it just totally loses my place in the question thread. I do
Yeah,
not.
because people are typing and then it bumps it. Yeah.
Yeah, but then when I try to get to go back to the top, it's none of the old questions are there. I don't know. Anyway, thank you, Eric. I prayed to you to help. This is from Kiwi Lover. I prayed to you to help my boyfriend who died of cancer, to help cross him over. And I guess you did, Eric?
He said no, he did that on his own, but he was a little bit more in fear than most people. So yes, I was there.
Oh, good. C. Trejo, I'm Crystal. Who will be the lucky man for me? Aw, and when will we meet?
Eric said, I can't do the win, but I can say you're getting closer than ever in those energy patterns that you've been creating. So
Good.
let's talk about the where and the how. This is how society thinks that right now, um, quarantining us is going to keep us apart. It's not going to keep us apart. We're going to use all our resources to come together, people. That's not going to keep us apart. Nothing's going to keep us apart.
Okay.
So he said, you're going to meet online, and don't look at me that way. He said, you're going to meet online. Stop shrugging that off and being in denial of that. Just look at it deeper. You felt that, and then you shrugged it off. So look at it again.
Okay. Again, with this out of place. Angie M. Is there anything hidden in our century-old property or buildings that you could bring to light? Treasure hunting. Treasure or stories for that matter.
A century-old property. That's fun. Okay. There's a pipe that's been making some noise for a while now. And every time water goes down it, it makes that noise because it's old and because it's, some old kind of metal. It clanks for a reason that's not just related to old plumbing, Erik says. Follow the
Okay.
noise, follow the water that's underneath the property that's affecting the pipe. There's an interesting water formation that's for a long time. And around that water formation, you'll find some ancient energies that work around that water formation. So this could be a spring or a natural aquifer or something that's been there for a while that will help.
Okay. Good. Kim V, how can I move forward in my home-based business and in my love relationship? And what are my gifts? So you guys, only one question, okay? One per person. So Erik, I'll let you choose. How can she move forward, Kim V, in her home-based business? How can she move forward in a love relationship? Or what are her gifts? What do you think is the most important thing for her to hear?
Business.
Okay.
She's learning to connect business with gifts. And he said it's like a treasure map when you're learning to connect small business with your healing gifts. Because you start here only because that's where you're most comfortable and it's good. And you reach a certain amount of people, you pull those people over into the next stage of your gifts. And then you grow that amount of people that need your help, that want your help. And then you do something else and pull those people over, and you see how this goes. It's like treasure hunting. And we are just pinging on a map, it seems, but there are connected dots. Connect the dots and how you want to help society and how you want to help yourself. And when you form a bridge between those two concepts of how you best want to help yourself and others, you will be on track.
Okay. Brenda Shea, is it safe for me to stay in Pennsylvania and purchase the home intended in McClure, Pennsylvania?
He said, look, you guys know that when you're in certain areas of the East Coast, it's a hot spot ultimately over the course of the next 25 to 28 years. And then at 40-year mark, it's even more of a hot spot for water problems. He said, major. This is not a drip in your plumbing. This is a drip in universal plumbing.
Oh, okay.
So there are some issues with the East. And she's pretty far inland, but that still could be safe, but it could be a problem that would affect the economy in that area. So just know that when you're making your decisions. And the same for California. He's shaking earth problems in California. He's been telling me these things for years now.
Okay. All right. Stormy Child. Yeah, you go, Stormy Chavez. One question per person. To be fair to others, we want to talk to Erik too. That's so cute. She knows her own power. Race B. My name is Bella. Oh, can you please explain demethylization detox you mentioned before for my TMAU?
It's not just about what you just said, that word, demethylization. Is that what she said? It's not just about that. It's about cleansing the effects of toxemia and then preventing, keeping yourself there. So you can demethylate in any ways, and Google can teach you, but start with perhaps some degree of something from earth, like French green clay, or otherwise known as bentonite clay. If you can handle that in your systems, move along to small versions of MMS. If you can handle that, move along to the product called Ion. And do that in different stages slowly, and pay attention to your body. Don't overwhelm your body with it, little bits at a time.
Okay. Let's see. Cassandra, who is my spirit guide who helped me with communicating with spirits so I can call my Uncle Bo who overdosed because she wants closure.
So there's many ways that you call this particular type of spirit. You call them guardians, handlers. You've called them many things, but there are these guides that are there to protect and guard and sort of handle the situation so that you feel safe, so that your mind doesn't get out of control and call in certain situations that you as a medium can't handle. This person has more than her share of what she wanted with spirits that she can't handle. So she has a really, really powerful one. Erik said, oh, she don't like this. That guide's name is Halal. You can look that one up on my channel if you want to know a lot about him. He's kind of the flip side of the coin of Jesus.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. NGM. What can I do to help bring in some income? Oh, Angie. Sorry, Angie. I better make this bigger.
He said, Mom, you're being more blind than Pamela today. Sheesh.
No. God, I swear.
So income for her, Erik said, please stop looking at the end result. I want you to look at where your passion is right now, because people will pay you for your why. If you're passionate about it, it will work. You like to help people, but your confidence isn't there. Do it anyway.
Yeah. And then your confidence will grow because you'll say, ah, hey, I didn't
Practice with anything.
die. So
with anything, it's like that. And some healers say they're not confident in their gifts and they have to be perfect before they start their practice. So practice doesn't make for perfection. Belief makes for perfection. And the understanding that perfection is everything already will help you.
Yes. All right. Brent O'Sullivan. Hi, Elisa, Pamela, and Erik. Erik, I've had a friend tell me the other day how she can't understand why I don't have a boyfriend. So my question is, do you think I'll ever find my guy? Oh.
He said, you're looking too hard. Just stop looking. Don't give up. Don't be like, oh, that's never going to happen. But you can just say, I'm happy if it happens. I'm happy if it doesn't. I'm happy with myself. And then you can start just kind of wondering. He said, Pamela's really good at wondering. She just kind of wonders, oh, I wonder what it would be like to do this, or I wonder what it would be like to do that. Mm-hmm. And then it attracts it for her to play with the idea of it. And then she can say yes or no. Erik, he said, she said no to a lot of wonders.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my God. Let's see. Nancy Lenau, Lenau. Sorry if I'm butchering it. Something on the screen there.
What's her
any messages from me, from you or my guides? Nancy.
Okay. Erik said, oh my gosh, you're so good at keeping everything neutral. Are you aware of how good you are? It's your superpower. When you can keep things neutral, everything in your own consciousness begins to expand, and you understand that what you see around you can't have effect on your truth and your reality if you are neutral about it. Even if you see something hard about the world, it can't have effect upon you if you are neutral about what you see. And she's so good at it. He's just like patting her on the back. He's like, it's your superpower. Stop middle.
Oh, that's awesome. Cheryl Bull says, you lost me. Cheryl, email me and explain. I think it's because of what happened with the thread thing. And maybe one of you guys can also email me to figure out why when I try to go back up to the beginning, it's really not. I can't find the place I was in. So anyway, but email me, emedhus@gmail.com. And if you didn't write that down, don't worry, this is going to be a recording that I'm going to put up. So, Lou, Erik, should I stay in Pensacola, Florida? If no, please recommend a prosperous place for me. Go to Texas, man. So many jobs here. And no income tax, just like Florida.
He said, the problem of feeling that you're not prosperous will follow you if you run from it. So look at it where you are. You're in a good place. What's wrong with this place for prosperity? I want you to just look at that. And if you're going to move, make sure you're not running, and make sure that you understand how to build following anywhere, how to build people that really understand what you are giving to them and selling to them and really need it. My gosh, it's everywhere for what you do. Why does it have to be just Florida?
Yeah. All right. So if anybody, if you don't put your first name in or the first name of the deceased, if you're trying to contact them, I just have to skip over you. I'm so sorry. Oh God, it makes me feel so guilty. Let's see. Oh, Kiwi Lover says, thank you, Erik. I'm crying now. Thank you so much for your answer. Aw. Cassandra, who is my spirit guide? Oh, no, we did that already. Oh, I think I found my place. Okay. Answer, please. Breast cancer. Okay. From Veronica Kueh, but I don't know what that question is. Maybe you do, Erik. Answer, please. Breast cancer. Okay.
He said it's not a this or that. It takes a while to get to that place when it comes to breast cancer, that you just can't slap any medicine on it, allopathic or naturopathic, and expect it to work by the time it is cancerous. By the time you get there in your belief systems, yes, you need to just completely get rid of toxemia in your system. Yes, that's going to be so helpful. And you need to go to the core of the belief system that began that process, that spiritual journey with it. So what degree of powerlessness, what degree of either, there's two sides of breast cancer, powerlessness and feeling helpless about it, and then it switches over into resentment and bitterness. So which side of that coin are you operating on at this point? That'll tell you a lot about what to do.
Okay. Also, people, I see some of y'all are typing in your question over and over again. So just to do it once, because it just clutters the chat thread. So
they're worried you're not going to be able to find it, he said, because you're losing your place. So they're typing it again because they're worried you won't find it.
Yeah, but don't worry. I mean, Sarah S., should I take BQH or BQH? I think, yeah, BQH, and will I be good at it? I don't know what that is. Do you?
He said, this is a process that just about anybody can be good at once they understand and trust themselves to be a clear conduit for source energies.
Okay. Como mensajero, messenger. I am a Gnostic student on a hard test. I lost my second son and wife, both RIP. What happened to them, and are they okay? And he just got colon cancer. Oh, the pain. Oh.
What happened to them before, during, or after? Erik questions. He said, so let's discuss these Gnostic tests that come along with this very powerful path. You are a master. That's why you get these tests. It's impossible to not choose them in advance in your contracts. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. But what you can understand is that you are learning to connect with the other side until there is no other. They are talking to you. They are there. They are there now. They are there powerfully. And they want you to help others. And they want you to help others with grief. But you got to get through grief a little bit more before you trust yourself to help others with grief. So there's a lot to that with the Gnostic path. Erik says he's noticed that they, and he pointed to me, he said, those of us, and then he pointed to me, who are on the Gnostic path have the hardest challenges with mastery.
Okay. Now, one of the blog members I said that was cured of cancer, it was colon cancer with the LDN. So low dose naltrexone, just look into that. You know, and Google it with colon cancer or whatever. Amanda Martin, any message for me, please?
You learned to stop seeing things with judgment. This is from your guide, not Erik, because he backed up and this guide came forward. You learned to stop seeing all things with judgment. You learned that when you couldn't stop judging, you learned to forgive. And you learned that you are deciding to embody your power. Your power is in your body now. And you are becoming very grounded in this. It is boosting your healing components, your healing abilities. And you are embodying the reality of restoration on this planet. This is the path of the healer. And you are starting to understand and teach others this truth that no matter what anyone else is doing, this embodiment is where true life begins on earth.
Wow. By the way, the bad guy, Tony Tone, which is Carmen, if I remember correctly, or Crystal, I think Carmen. But anyway, Carmen, yeah. She says the video is messing up, rewinding, going mute, fast forwarding, and then showing both Elisa and Pamela talk, but mute. And when speaking, it's past conversations. Oh my God, I'm going to miss my question. So what's happening, Erik? Are you messing with this or somebody else?
He said, no, he said probably Lucas stopped his thing by now, but at this point it's just both of our energies together, all of our energies together are causing a collapse in the time continuum. No big deal. We're just collapsing time continuum momentarily. No. He's laughing.
No, that's really funny. DGO didn't leave her first name or his, so I can't. DG wants to know if she or he met his or her twin flame, but we don't have a first name, so
that's fine. If you doubt it, you understand that you're in a different degree of learning about that part of the overall twin flame concept. So your guides are saying, and Erik stepped aside, he said, that's not for me. So your guide said that the twin flame concept, okay, now I've taught this before, so I'm going to teach it again. If God is your arm, it's coming through your hand. If this is your hand is your body, right? God comes through your body. There's a fractal that's here. There's a fractal that's here. There's a fractal that's here. There's a fractal of here of God fractal within you. There are normally at least 3, up to 5, okay? You know, God, body, fractals of God, multi-dimensional components of God in you, and you call them spirit guides, right? There's another being out there who came through the same soul group over here. We're looking at our hands. Okay, so this is the same soul group represented by the same prime creator, otherwise God, soul group, same prime creator, same God, coming through different body, but same concept because it's the same God, same prime creator. So 2 different bodies. We've got, you know, DG, whatever her name is, and a being over here. So now we have fractals of God. There is a fractal of God in you that is absolutely the same mirror fractal of God that's in this other person. Why? Because the universal law of oneness. Okay? That's how you can be the same. You just think you're different. So when the body meets and the hands meet, then this fractal meets this fractal and it goes, hey, you're a lot like each other. Hi. Erik says, and then it's like, you know, what we used to do as kids with the shadow puppets on the wall when we were as kids. It's like that with twin flames. So it's rare that people find all degrees of fractals within them that are connecting like this together with their fractals, right? That is the ultimate mastery in twin flames, but you'll have to get to this finger first, this finger first, this fingers. Yeah. There can, you know, up to 5 for most people, different degrees of mastery that you must go through to meet that fractal of God operating in another person. You meet it, Maybe you're done with that. You meet it, you learn from that. You meet it, you learn from that. And then ultimately you do this. And ultimately there's one that works. Okay.
Awesome.
So you have to doubt that say you're here and you have I'm not sure, then you know your answer. Even if you have to ask Erik, you know your answer. It means you're close. Doesn't mean it won't work. Some people like that and they just want to hold hands with 3 fingers. That's fine too.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, so I guess we will end there because it's actually past time. Sorry for those. I think it was like almost 400 in the chat thread. It's amazing. But a lot of people did not read my rules. You cannot keep posting the same thing over and over again or ask more than one question. So that kind of probably inflated a little bit more. But I still love you. So anyway, thank you, Pamela. You guys check out Pamela at PamelaErlin.com. I'll put it here somewhere. And thank you, Erik. I love you. And I love you, Pamela. I love all you guys out there very much. Bye.
Bye.
See you later, alligator.
See you later.